Thank you so much for joining me again for another broadcast. For all of you that were here earlier today, you would have seen a brief introduction on Heavy Rain. Basically, I've just given a rundown on how this game was created, conceived, created, and then developed. With a few bits and pieces on what the reception was and what David Cage did originally, where he went for his research, and everything else. So if interested, you can have a look at the video which I've done earlier today called simply Introduction on Heavy Rain. And what we are going to do from literally right now is we'll just jump in and we'll try to explore everything I talked about earlier today. The idea is to get really, first of all, introduced to the characters, and then to run through a brief tutorial, which is at the beginning, in order to enable everybody to be able to use the controls appropriately. As said, there are a few issues which really need to be explored right from the beginning, and that's the way to use the controls whilst you are entering highly paced action sequences. If we are not up to scratch with how we use those controls, some of our protagonists are going to be killed early in the game, and that will change the final outcome on the origami killer. So without further ado, let's just get going with our settings and the trouble we have here with the settings is that every single time we start a game, it's giving us its default on subtitles. So it's very important that we get rid of that right at the beginning. And it's a bit annoying because every single time we have to do that, and it's not really the best. As you could see, we get these subtitles in English, and we simply have to switch them off and then validate. So we'll make sure that our stream is being set up for the best possible level, and let's have a look. I'll leave it to about 70, I think, and then music will put as well to about 80 or so. Validate, and now we can proceed. And as said, we'll start from the very beginning. So I will open a new story and get introduced to our characters. We get into the atmosphere straight away. Proper film noir. you will see this prologue is like a brief tutorial, and we'll get clear instructions on the screen on what to do. So we'll just follow the instructions. So you could see R2 button is basically going to enable us to walk, and our left stick is going to provide he has his cupboard in here with clothing. Can try to open it. He doesn't really want to put anything on at the moment. He will need to have a shower, and in addition he will need to have a good shave. This particular instruction is extremely important throughout the game. So when you press L2, it will provide you with the mindset of the character you're currently playing, and that's really fundamental, because A, it will tell you exactly what he's feeling at any given moment in time, and also it will give you a sense of direction, basically what clues you'll get and what direction you need to pursue in order to move forward in the game. So let's have a look. I did mention that he is likely to need a bath or a shower and then shave. So let's see what his mind is going to tell us. Shower. So I was right.
I better take a shower and get dressed before I go downstairs.
So you could see he has some photographs here on display in his room. Let's have a look what that is. Well, he's married. This is his wife. There's a note left here for him.
Gone shopping. I'll pick the kids up from school at lunchtime, and then I'll come home to get things ready for Jason's birthday party. Don't work too hard. I love you.
Grace is his wife. So let's have a quick look whether there's anything else in the room for him to explore. But principally, at this stage, there isn't anything, and we're just literally taught how to use the controls. So let's just proceed. So you could see he needs to go and have a shower. There we go. Well, fun enough, I do exactly the same. I usually shave before I shower, so that is my routine, which I'm applying to the main character as well. Looks like a good razor. Electric razors I never use. And watch this. In order to brush his teeth, we need to pick up our controller and then shake it rather violently left to right in order for him to proceed. So look at this. I'm shaking violently, but the game is not responding. When I do it even more, I'm getting the job done. And up and down. This is a bit troubling later in the game, as you will obviously realize, but no any other way around to it. So he's done his shaving and brushing his teeth, and now it's the time to have a shower. There we go. All nice and easy. you can see that the game is rather explicit right from the beginning. Again, we need to shake the controller. And it does work. Now left to right. Now we'll just find out what he's thinking. So go ahead and press your L2 button. Of course, he needs some clothing. Is he awake?
Nothing like a refreshing shower. I almost feel awake.
I completely agree, particularly if the hot water was in short supply, then it would be even more refreshing. So let's have a look at his clothes.
I'm as clean as a whistle. Time to...
You can use L1 to switch camera angles. So, for instance, if you want to see different angles in a particular scene, just keep pressing L1. See, we get two different angles from here. But in some other sections of the game, we get also different kind of angular shots, which are particularly useful if they are preceding an action sequence aside. So let's have a look. He needs to get dressed. Needs to go back to his room. He'll get back to his cupboard, and there he is going to get dressed. As you could see, he's living in a beautiful house. Has a wife. And let's see what he needs now. Press L2 button again.
I've got some time before Grace and the kids get back. Better get some work done.
Well, he can do that, but just like myself, he will need to do something else before he goes downstairs. And have a look at what this is. Well, you guessed it all. What's important in this game is that you do exactly as you would in real life, and that's quite familiar. I guess that is a pattern which will be familiar to all of you that would have played other Quantic Dreams games, and I find it really, both enlightening and quite amusing. I guess it's the way to get you into the mindset of the lead characters. He wants to do some work before proceeding. And look at all the paintings he's got. A wonderful house, beautifully located in this nameless city. As you could see, upstairs we checked his mindset and he was quite focused on needing to get some work done. But maybe once he's gone downstairs, he'll have something else to do. And there's something about the garden.
Nice day outside. Maybe I could squeeze in a little garden time?
Possibly, but I think doing some work will be his utmost priority before his wife and children get back. And his office is up there. So let's say we want to see a different angle. We press L1, you see? Makes it easier for us to proceed. There we go. This is his lovely office. And he will sit down and he will do some architectural drawings. Left to right, right to left. Now I will swing. So you could see he's a man of routine. Gets up early, does the works before anyone else gets back home. And that is the way to be. See, this is tricky. It tells us to touch firstly X button, then the triangle, and there will be a third button in a moment. See? I missed it. That's just one of those things. Usually we have to press 3 buttons consecutively. So let's try again. I missed it again. That's a bit annoying. And actually, I had to use both of my hands to do this. There he is. His drawing is complete. Let's have a look if he wants to do a bit more. Maybe. Maybe more. And maybe we'll get an achievement because we are working so hard. So watch this. 3 buttons again. Now it's L1. Well, I'm missing it, I think. And now this. Yeah. L1 again. And now X. And I missed it. I'm not particularly good in this, you know. It's very difficult to squeeze all these buttons at the same time, but, you know. There we go. But let's do a bit more work. I'm quite certain that once we've done it, we'll get an achievement. And that will be rather rewarding. Where is it? Well, you see this one. It tells us we need to keep pressing this X. Now we need to press the triangle. Need to keep pressing the triangle. Well, he obviously did something wrong. Didn't like the design. Nice and clean and clear. Let's see where he does anything else. Oh. There we go. Almost done. He did beautifully. Look at that. Isn't he skilled?
The plans are coming along nicely. Should be finished by Monday.
He completed the plan. Well, that's terrific. He worked really hard. And still his wife and kids didn't come back home. So that's pretty good. Let's have a look. Change the angle. And let's check out what he's thinking right now. You see? Coffee.
I could go for a cup of coffee.
Absolutely. I fancy a drink too, but I don't drink coffee. There it is. Nice hot cup of coffee. And watch this, it's boiling hot. He finished it all in one go. Evidently he was very keen. So what is he thinking right now?
I'm thirsty. Should be some orange juice in the fridge.
Certainly. I drink grapefruit juice in the morning, so there you go. Grapefruit juice, orange juice is got. Now we need to shake it a bit. Shake the controller again. And now he needs to drink it. Coffee and orange juice. And no breakfast. Not particularly good for him, but there you go. What else? TV, Grace, music and work. Well, we'll say music.
How about some music?
But wait, is sci-fi? That's the question now. Let's see. Looking good. Looks like a good atmosphere for the very beginning of his day.
Finished. Now I can relax and seize the day.
Couldn't have agreed more. I wish every day of mine was like this. But it definitely isn't. There's his wife coming back home.
Hey,
children as well.
You're gonna knock me over. So this is your big day, huh?
Am I grown up now?
10 years old. That's not exactly grown up, but you're getting there.
Now, can I drive your car?
And I think you're gonna have to wait a little while for that.
Ethan, can you please help me?
I'm coming.
Everything's looking good at this stage.
They've been so excited since this morning. I could hardly keep them in line in the supermarket. How's your day been? Managed to get any work done?
I made some pretty good progress. I've just got to work on a few more details, and then I should be ready to present the plans to the client.
I've got a billion things to do. It'll never be ready before Jason's pals arrive. Can you please help me? There should be plates in the living room cupboard.
No problem, leave it to me.
Yes, he changed the angle. The cupboard is just down here. It's very difficult to find when you play it for the first time. But there you go.
That door is always sticking. Give it a big tug. That's the set my mother gave us. Be careful, okay?
Don't worry, I wouldn't want to be responsible for a diplomatic incident with your mother.
It's all set. Change the angle again and see everything better.
Ethan.
I don't know if I've already told you this today, Mrs. Mars, but I find you very attractive.
You're not so bad yourself, Mr. Mars. I know what's on your mind, Ethan. But now is not the right time for it.
Shame.
I've really got to focus on this party. We'll continue this little conversation later.
Did you find the present for Jason?
Yeah, I picked it up from the store this morning. Oh, we were lucky. It was the last one in stock.
Can I do anything to help?
No thanks. I should be able to manage.
When are Jason's friends coming?
Oh, about 2 p.m.? Oh, God, I hope I'll be able to keep the situation under control. Not like last year.
Jason looks happy.
Yeah. It's hard to believe he's 10 years old today. It seems like only yesterday we were flirting in high school. We're getting old, Ethan.
Aren't we all?
She's more goddamn beautiful with every passing day. Oof, it's stuffy in here. I should get some fresh air in the garden.
Certainly, and his kids are there too.
I think I'll go outside and play with the kids.
So we'll see, once he goes out, he'll play with his kids, but I actually find this section a bit bizarre, because the way he's playing with his children is a bit violent, and maybe that is a bit misleading in terms of its narrative. But anyway, let's crack on, you'll see what he does.
That's it, I'm free as a bird.
Hey, 5 minutes, boys, okay? After that, we've got to eat, because your friends are going to be here.
Me first!
No,
me first!
Easy, fellas, you can both have a turn.
Me first! Me first! No, me first!
All right, Jason, let's do the helicopter.
It's my turn now, it's my turn!
Okay, Sean, get ready. Here we go.
So now I have to toss and turn your controller in order to give them correct direction, otherwise there could be you know, like an accident or something. There we go. It's good enough. And he's played a bit.
Come on, Dad, show us how strong you are. Big muscles.
Be careful, hang on.
So you could see in this prologue we get to use the controls quite a bit, so it's quite good. It's like a tutorial.
Oh.
This time you're done for. You're gonna pay for all your
Well, this bit
crimes.
is a bit violent, as you will see.
Ha! Surrender, weakling. Say your prayers.
Come on, Jason. Hi-ya!
Give up. I am victorious.
Watch out! Yo! Attack! Attack! Yo! Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Jason. Ah! Pay for that. Come on. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, Jason. Ah! Continue. Watch out. Yeah. Ha! Ha! Go, Jason. Yeah. Hi-ya! No. My body. Scum.
Food's ready, kids. You coming in?
All jolly. All jolly so far.
Sean? Lunch is ready.
I'll go get him.
At this stage you get this idea that one of his sons has a tendency to be disappearing on short notice, and well, you'll find out what happens next. Later in the game, though. Well, I love his house. Not sure about you, but it just seems to be really spacious and, you know, very bright. There his son is.
Sean? What's up?
It's Merlin. He's dead. He's dead and it's all my fault.
No, it's not, Sean. Of course it's not your fault.
I'd give anything if you could come back to life.
You know, Sean, there's some things which just have to happen. Even if you don't want them to.
It's not fair, Dad. It's not fair.
I know. I know.
And this is really the beginning of the game. As you will see, it has a beautiful credit sequence, wonderfully designed and quite atmospheric as well. You get into that sense of suspense right from the beginning, which I really like. You know that something's lurking around the corner and you always have to watch out. And that's basically the signature of David Cage in all of his games, but in this one he really excelled.
I'd like to have a quick look at some shoes for Sean. Can you watch Jason for a minute? I promise, we won't be long.
Sure, no problem. We're not going anywhere, are we, Jason?
Come on, honey.
In fact, I think I said it wrong. It's still prologue, and the credit sequence will come up a bit later after something very big happens to him and to his family. So...
Jason!
Let's have a look. Where did he go?
Jason! Jason! Jason!
And guess where his son is?
Jason!
With a client, of course.
Jason, you really shouldn't wander off like that, you know? There's an awful lot of people in here.
Please, Dad, can I have one? I would really love to have one. Please, Dad, come on.
Okay, let's go buy a balloon.
Great!
Hey, champ. What's your name?
Jason,
Which balloon would you like, Jason?
the red one.
Here you go. That'll be $2, sir.
Jason, wait for me. Wait for your dad, son. It's really crowded in here. Keep the change.
It is impossible to try on a pair of shoes with this crowd. Where's Jason?
He was here a second ago. I bought him a balloon, and I turned around and he just disappeared.
Disappeared? What do you mean disappeared?
Stay here. I'll go get him. I'll be right back.
Jason! 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 Jason!
What's important in this sequence is supposed to be chasing this red balloon.
Jason! Jason!
So where is the red balloon now? Oh, there it is, yeah.
Jason! Jason!
There it is.
God, you really had me scared.
Well, this is not his son.
Hey man, watch where you're going. Hey man, are you nuts?
Jason!
What's your problem?
Jason!
So watch carefully.
Jason!
Watch carefully what happens next.
Jason! Hey! Whoa! Shit! Jason! No!
Jason! Oh my god, no! No! No, Jason! Oh my god, no! No! Oh my god.
And as you can see, his family will never ever be the same again. I'm not sure whether any of you have seen a French film called Red Balloon. There's a reference, obviously in this game, with this red balloon to that film. And here we are. This is the credit sequence that I described earlier. It's just amazing. Beautiful atmospheric. Literally from that bright sunny day, it's drawing into something very dark and deadly from the word go. Worth just simply watching and loving those visuals. If any of you are playing this on PlayStation 4, I recommend for you to take many screenshots. There's so many different sequences in the game which look beautiful, and you will have a beautiful, brilliant, fantastic, great album full of wonderful shots, which is what I've done. And then you can always, collect those images and go back in time, remembering the story and everything else. Like a proper photo album. Every one of those shots is so beautifully composed. You know simply after watching the credits that there will be so many secrets hiding in those parks and alleys. And we are going to be exploring them one by one. Two years later, his life has changed forever. He isn't even a faint shadow of himself. No longer living in that beautiful, bright, suburban home.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Dad.
You see, at this stage, the game begins sort of to remind me a bit of another PlayStation exclusive many years ago, Silent Hill. This is not a horror game, but the atmosphere is very similar, with the rain sipping and the clouds, and generally, you know, the visibility not being particularly good when watching the distance. And in the same way, in this game, you'll be encountering all sorts of surprises, mainly the unpleasant ones, as you walk the streets. So let's have a look. What is he going to do next? Initially, he needs to take his son back home. As you could see, in a real life situation, he does exactly the same to what we would do if we were there. So when you play the game, remember that. Every single time you go to any of the areas, do exactly as you would if you were there yourself. And that will provide you with a lot of different options. So watch this. Mindset. He's thinking about nothing. You're getting no thoughts from L2 button. Simply needs to focus on his driving and get his son back home. Which is what he's doing. The atmosphere so beautifully blends with, you know, TV series like Homicide: Life on the Street or Wire, NYPD, nitty-gritty of downtown America. No longer living in the same house, and no longer living with his wife. Where is Grace? But you could see over there, there's his timetable. So let's have a look and consider what he needs to do. 4:30 snack, 6 o'clock homework, 7 o'clock dinner, 8 o'clock bed. Well, he would need to be focused on this if he wants his son to be disciplined. So let's have a look. What's the time now? Already late. So he needs to really tell him to have something to eat and to do his homework.
Sean, do you want to do your homework now?
Please, Dad, let me watch TV a little while longer. We'll do it later, okay?
All right, I'll come back a little later.
Snack.
Time for a snack. Maybe Sean is hungry.
Let's have a look what they have in the fridge. Some orange juice, but that's mainly for him. His son is not drinking orange juice. And there, drink again. These cartons look wonderfully big. Wish I could get some of those in my local superstore. A bit more. Still a bit more. Time to leave that alone, I think. There we go. So you could see there's pizza and there's some chicken for them to have for dinner. It's a bit of a silly thing to do, leaving your son alone. It's confusing because that snack that he wants to have is here. But he may need to ask his son whether he actually wants to have a snack. Yeah, it's running late on all counts so far.
Sean hasn't done his homework yet. Greece has Sean this weekend. Seems like he can't wait to get back to his mother. It's getting dark. Better turn on the light.
So he received a letter from somebody, and the contents of this letter will change the course of his life.
When the parents came home from church, all their children were gone. They searched and called for them, they cried and begged, but it was all to no avail. The children have never been seen again.
Well, he is very perturbed by this message for sure.
Do you want me to get your dinner?
Still no snack. Well, that's annoying. Because the snack is here in that fruit bowl.
You've got a cold coming on. I'm gonna see if I can find some medicine for you.
There we go. It wasn't allowing us to switch the light back on. Switch the light on earlier. Probably in tune with the nightfall outside. Switch the light on in here as well. And now he will need to do what? He needs to find some medicine. The medicine is over here. Not too bad. And now he needs to go downstairs and provide the medicine to Sean.
Here, take this. It'll make you feel better.
Thanks, Dad.
So, do you want to talk a little?
Talk about what?
I don't know, about you, your friends, how things are going.
Nothing special.
What do you say we play together for a while?
I'd rather watch TV.
Do you want me to get your dinner?
Oh yeah, I'm really hungry.
Okay, I'll go see what I can find. I'll call you when it's ready.
Got some roast chicken. Microwavable. Piping hot by the looks of it. Yuck.
You can come now, Sean.
Not
Our
really
meal is
my
ready.
kind of favorite dinner,
Come in!
for sure. Oh no. See, that's quite tricky, but it's between those two buttons. We'll try it again. It's very important in order to master the controls to get this right. There we go, mastered it. Can put it back in the bowl. But Sean already finished his dinner.
It's still early. We'll see about the homework later.
Sounds like some violence on that TV.
How are things at school? Is your teacher nice?
Everything's fine, Dad.
Come on, Sean. It's time for bed.
Oh, but I never go to bed this early.
You're right, it's still early. I'll come back for you when it's time.
He didn't do his schoolwork.
Come on, Sean. It's time for bed.
Oh, but I never go to bed this early.
You're right, it's still early. I'll come back for you when it's time.
You see, this is the first time that he gets the knowledge on Origami Killer, and he reads this article in the newspaper and he's sort of terrified of whatever's happening to his city, but he's not fully aware of, you know, what is to follow. There's nothing for him to do in here, but actually there is right, this other newspaper, you see, but he can't pick it up. There's another story in Origami Killer in that newspaper, but I don't think he can. Switch the light off, save electricity. Right, so now
Come on, Sean. It's time for bed.
I'm not tired yet. Can I stay up a little longer?
Now, that's not very reasonable, is it? You have school tomorrow. You have to get some sleep.
All right, I'm going. Are you coming with me?
Go brush your teeth and put on your pajamas. I'll come up.
that's it. The television set was so annoying throughout this sequence. Looked like some cartoons, but didn't sound like cartoons. And that is his office. I'll just have a look at it, compare that with the previous beautiful office it had. Wow, such is life, you know. You could see what trauma does to children. Well represented in this game, I must say. Very well captured.
Good night, Sean.
My teddy! I haven't got my teddy, Dad.
You must have left it somewhere in the house. Do you have any idea where it could be?
No, Dad. Please, I can't sleep without him.
All right, I'll have a look around and see if I can find it, okay?
There you found his teddy. But we did discover this teddy early on, as you could see. So it was nice and easy for him.
Thanks, Dad.
Good night, Sean.
Night. Dad,
Yeah?
why do you look so sad?
I think I just need some time to get back to the way things were.
You know, Dad, what happened to Jason wasn't your fault.
Good night, Sean.
Didn't do. There you go. Let's see.
I don't feel tired. I'll go downstairs, grab some fresh air.
He's suffering from violent flashbacks. And then he can't remember whatever happened during those periods. Well, it's a paper-made figure, and shortly we'll discover what this is. But look at that. Dark and deadly and gritty and industrial urban landscape atmosphere. Absolutely astonishing. I love every detail of it. You see this? You will get this sort of shot. Oh, there we go. What is annoying, I was not able to capture the screenshot of this trophy. Anyway, what I want to tell you was, anytime you get a close-up of one of the lead characters in between the sequences, you will be granted either a bonus or you'll earn a trophy. So every time you get that, take a snapshot, make a screenshot, and then upload it to your social media. There are lots of different trophies. If I'm not mistaken, about 56, within the range of 50 plus, and some of them are very, very hard to get. So it is fundamentally important that you explore every single area you find yourself in, as if you would if you were there. I think that's the key. That's the tool that they've been using from the beginning, you know, in Quantic Dreams, and they really want you to feel a part of that environment. They want you to feel the feelings. They want you to feel their pain. They want you to experience the fear or the excitement, and this game really brings it to the fore for sure. So let's carry on. In fact, what we'll do now, because we are proceeding towards the second stage in this game, we'll take a short break, and upon our return we'll crack on. And in this hotel there are some really interesting secrets that the lead character will discover, so do not miss. Do come back and do proceed with this investigation together with me. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed. See you shortly.